in my video. And to have me make a video specially to answer your question, send me an email to englishclubusa@yahoo.com, and you can visit my website at englishclubusa.com for a free life membership. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. For some students, it takes more than 10 years to learn how to use two basic verbs, do and make. And even after 10 years, 100% of those who learned how to use them incorrectly. Well, today we will learn a very simple system that has no exceptions in 30 minutes. So today, let's take a look and see what are the differences between two basic verbs in English language, do and make. Some people give you many examples, hoping that you can either remember all of the examples and how to use them, or maybe you can find your own system how to use verbs do and make. Well, fortunately, the verbs in do and make have a system, and native people have that system inside of them all the time. So let's see if we can just in a few short minutes, can understand exactly what is inside the head of a native speaker. Well, first, let's start with the verb make, and then we will talk about the verb do. The reason why is because the verb make probably is the most used verb of the two verbs. But why is it such a highly used verb? What makes it so special? What makes it so special is that verb make actually has a meaning other than you do something with your hands, or that you create something, as you might have learned in other English classes. So what is it that makes these two verbs so similar and so different? They both mean the same thing, supposedly, but they have completely different uses. So let's start and look at the verb make first, simply because it is the most frequently used verb in English language. And then we'll go to the verb to do to see what are the differences in their meanings. Verb make, many of you have learned in other English classes that it has something to do with your hands, or maybe it has something to do with the creation. Well, one thing for sure, that verb make has nothing to do with hands, and it has nothing to do with creation. So the question is, what is it about verb make that makes it so special? Well, verb make is actually really simple, and verb make has a meaning. And that meaning is, when you make anything, you have to finish it. The idea of being a finished quality, that is the key meaning of the verb make. But in order to finish anything, whatever you're making must be specific. If it's not specific, then it cannot be a make. It will automatically be a do. So what are the basic qualities of the verb make? What is the system that native people have inside their heads that will automatically help them make a decision between the two verbs? So to make a long story short, verb make has three basic qualities. One, the most important quality of all of them, is that it shows that something is 100% finished. That is the primary quality and the main meaning of the verb make. But in addition to that, it is something that is a change of state. And the third thing, it has something to do with words. So let's look at some of the examples and see how they work in real life. When you make a pizza, what happens with the pizza? Are you trying to finish the pizza? Yes, you are. Because if you're trying to finish the pizza, then pizza is what you make, because the goal is to finish. However, when you are questioning, when you're asking your waiter or waitress a question about the pizza and if it's ready, you're not asking if the pizza is made. You're asking if the pizza is done. So why, when you talk about pizza, for example, in one case you're making a pizza and in the other case you did the pizza? Well, it's very simple. Because when you have a pizza on the table, that pizza is 100% finished. So the chef has made a pizza. But when that pizza is not on your table yet, they just took it out of the oven, then that pizza is not made. They still need to cut it and they need to serve it. So it is not 100% officially finished. So in that case, the pizza is done. That means it's cooked, but it's not completely finished to be consumed. Let's look at another example. What about money? Do you make money? Well, another word for making money is earn money. But most people say, I made money. How much money did you make? So when you sold something that you bought before, the difference is yours. The difference is in your account. You finished selling it. So the difference is how much money you made. So what about dinner? If it's not money, dinner is exactly the same as a pizza. You are doing a dinner, or are you making a dinner? Well, actually, you are doing a dinner. Why? Because you didn't finish it. After you finished the dinner, you made a dinner. This is why dinner, if somebody asks you a question, what are you doing? I am doing a dinner. Why? Because you haven't done it yet. I'm trying to do a dinner. But the goal for a dinner is to make it. So that's why most people say, what are you doing? I am making a dinner. Why making? Because the goal is to have it finished 100% officially. What about car? Car is a very interesting situation because many people think about Ralph Lauren, for example, and they say, well, what do you call a Ralph Lauren? It is a brand of clothes. Calvin Klein is a brand of clothes, but car, like Ford, like Hyundai, like Kia, like Mercedes, they're not brands. So what do you call them? They are makes. And why are they makes? Why aren't they brands? Well, it's very simple. Because the car isn't a car until it is 100% officially finished. That's what makes it a car. What about loan? Loan is a very, very interesting situation. Because when you call a bank and you want to find out if they will give you a loan, what they do is they actually do things regularly. So if you ask them a general question, which is not specific, and you want to ask him, do you guys make loans? That would not be correct. The correct way to ask a bank if they will give you a loan is to ask them if they do loans. Because you're asking about something that they haven't finished yet. You're asking them something that will happen in the future. So that's why when you talk in general terms about a bank or a mortgage company where you can borrow money to buy a house, you ask them a question if they make loans. If they do loans. Because if they do loans, they may do loans for houses, but not for cars. So the general question, which is not specific, is do they do loans for houses or if they do loans for cars. After you received the money, after the bank had given you the money, and you already have a loan number that you're paying, that is a completely 100% officially finished process. Now the loan is made. So when you're talking about something that happened in the past, when process has been finished, then that loan is a made loan. So if you're calling a bank to find out about your loan and you want to refer to your loan number, all you have to do is tell them that you guys made me a loan last month and I have a question to ask you. That's correct. That's where the loan would be a made loan. The second quality of the word make is whenever you have to change a state of something. For example, when something like a temperature, you come inside the house and it is hot. So you would like to turn the air conditioning on to reduce the temperature. Well, let's say in the house it is really hot and the air conditioning dropped the temperature 1 degree. Is 1 degree enough for you to be comfortable? Probably not. So what you have a number in mind that you will finally feel comfortable, where air conditioning will finish working. So now what you have done, you made the temperature colder. What you have done, you have changed the state of temperature. And that would be make the temperature warmer. What about change of environment? Any kind of a change. If you come in and the children had made things dirty, okay? They made things dirty. Why not they did things dirty? Because when you left the house was perfectly clean. And then when you came back, there was a change of state of the house. So now the house is dirty. So the children made the house dirty. So when you come, you say, okay guys, now since you made the house dirty, now you have to make the house clean. That means they have to change the state of being dirty to being clean. Those of you who will be watching these videos, what's going to happen is you will become smarter. You will be able to manage English better. You'll be able to understand everything much easier. So when you watch videos that we're doing today, it will make you smart. That would be, you're not using hands, you're not creating anything. What you're doing, you're changing a state of information that you have in your head, and the videos will make you smart. If you watch many videos and you do video homeworks, the video homeworks will not just make you smart, but they will make you successful in English. Before, you were not successful, and after video homeworks, you will have a change of state. So video homeworks will make you successful. So the secret is any kind of adjective, and we will talk about adjectives in a different video, any kind of adjective is a quality or is a state of something. So whenever you change an adjective from one to another, you're changing a state. So the secret is, if there's an adjective that you're talking about, it is always a make. And the third quality that again refers to something that is finished is when you are using words in any way. For example, you would like to leave a comment at the bottom about the video that you just saw. So when you leave a comment, do you finish leaving a comment? Are you 100% officially done with your comment? And if you are, what you have done was you made a comment. Of course, there will be an email and I'll be very happy to hear from you guys suggestions and questions. So, will you be able to use words to ask your questions or make suggestions? Of course. So in that case, you will send me an email where you will make a suggestion for a different class. Why will it be make a suggestion and not do a suggestion? Because anything that has to do with words at some point of time has to finish. What about note? When you watch these videos, you have to take some notes so that will help you. What are you doing? Are you doing notes or are you making notes? Well, since you're writing using words, then it's automatically you are making notes. Some people will say, but I'm taking notes. That's correct. And we will have a video on the words bring and take separately. But the little secret about take, the meaning of the take, it has something to do with responsibility. When you take notes, when you say take notes, you're talking about you're being responsible, but you're not saying that you're finishing anything. But when you make a note, that means you start writing information and then you finish writing information. That's why you make a note. So now we understood how the word make works. That the key definition of the word make is the quality of being 100% finished. Not just finished, officially finished, without any ability for a change. The word do is exactly the opposite of the word make. So, what is the first and the most important quality of the verb do? Let's think about it. How do native people think? The first question that native people ask, what I am talking about, the word that I'm talking about, is it something specific or is it something that is not specific? Remember, in all of the videos I'm talking about English as something binary. Because when you think about anything in two terms, it is always easier to remember. So whenever something that is not specific, it doesn't matter what it is. It's automatically a do. So for example, if you ask somebody to make you a favor or do you a favor, so all you have to do is think about the word favor. When I say, could you please me a favor, do you know which favor I'm talking about? Is it something specific or is it something that is not specific? Does the word favor have specificity? It doesn't. Because if I ask you to lend me money, if I'm asking you to help me, how do you know how much help do I need? How do you know how much money I need? Especially if I'm not even telling you what I need. I just want you to do me a favor. What if you say that I like to just be a nice person? Be a nice person is not specific. It is something completely general. That means you like to do good. You like to, in general, do good for people, which is very nice. What about chores? Later you can go to the dictionary and look at what the chores are, but just a quick help. Chores is anything that you do normally inside the house and outside the house. You go shopping, you wash your car, you clean the bathroom, you do something on a regular basis. Those are chores. So, do you do chores or do you make chores? Are you creating something? No. Are you using hands? Usually yes. When you do chores, you almost always use hands. But you used to learn that when you use hands, it's a make. Well, that's absolutely silly. It has nothing to do with make, because the word chores is not specific. You cannot possibly make something that is not specific. We have talked about loans. When loan is in the future, it's not finished, that means the bank will do loans for people, not me. The second quality is, you say, but Valeria, what happens if it's like something like a surgery? It's very specific. What about cleaning? It's very specific. If you're cleaning the kitchen, you're cleaning the kitchen. You're not cleaning the living room. You're not cleaning your car. You're cleaning something specific. Project. You have a specific project. So the question is, why is it that specific project, specific cleaning, specific surgery, and a specific hairstyle, I cut my hair today. Why? Why is it that you don't make it? Well, the rule is very simple. For you to make it, it has to be 100% finished. It has to be officially finished. It cannot be changed. How many people had a haircut, and after the barber is done, is finished supposedly with your hair, you say, could you please cut a little bit over here and a little bit in the back? So whenever you can change whatever you have supposedly finished, it is not 100%. So that's why you do hair, not make hair. That's why you do cleaning. How many people cleaned and then your spouse or your fiancé or your friend enters and said, that's not cleaning, let me finish. You thought that you finished it. And the other person said no. So this is why cleaning cannot possibly be made. That's why you do cleaning. You say, but doctors, surgery, they cut me open, they take my appendix, they cut my appendix, and it's finished. Well, I promise you, surgeries are not always finished. My appendix was cut twice. That means that a second doctor had to cut me open and had to do that surgery again because another doctor did not do a good job. So that's why you don't make surgeries, you do surgeries. What about project? Project is a very interesting situation. As you see, I put it in blue specifically just to show you how important for something to be not only 100% finished, but not be able to change it. I'm sure many of you have gone to school and you have done projects. And after you finished the project, you turned it in and you received a grade, 90%. What is 90%? That means that you could have done something better. So the teacher can give you the project and then you can go and fix it and improve it and make it better. That means you can change it. That's why you cannot make a project. You do project. Homework. After you do the video homeworks, what happens? When you watch the video, you stop, you think, then you give the answer, then you continue with my video, and you will see whether you got it right or not. If you didn't get it right, what do you have to do? You have to change it. That's why you do homework. And the third quality for do is repetition. That's my favorite. Why is it my favorite? Because if you ask any English teacher about bed, about delivery, every English teacher will tell you you make deliveries. And every English teacher will say you make a bed. Are you sure? Well, let's think about it. For you to make a bed, you need to have it 100% finished. In order for you to make a bed, it has to be specific. So if you're asking somebody if they made a bed today, instead of asking, did you do your bed today? Yes. You will ask, did you make the bed today? Because the bed you're talking about and the change of the bed you're talking about is specific. And you're asking if the person finished making the change to the bed. In that case, bravo, Correct. Yes, you make a bed. But if you have a hotel and you have a person who goes and makes beds, that person repeats his or her responsibility. Aha. In that case, that person doesn't make beds. In that case, that person does beds. So for example, you come to the hotel, you open the cover, and there is a cockroach. What do? You call the customer service and says, look, I have an animal in my bed. So what does the customer service do? They send a person so they can change your bed. They can do the bed again. So if you can change it, or if you can repeat doing something, then they will come back to your room and they will do your bed again. Very simple, because it's a repetition. What about delivery? Delivery is a very interesting situation. You call a restaurant and you ask them a question. Do you guys make or do deliveries? Well, are you talking about a specific delivery that you need to start and have finished completely 100% officially? Or are you talking about something that is not specific? Or are you talking about something in general? Well, the answer is, if you're calling the restaurant and you're asking them if that's what they do in general, then you need to ask them if they do deliveries. But if you made an order and you're waiting for your pizza to arrive and it's not there after 2 hours, I'm sure you will call the restaurant. And what are you going to say? You will say, guys, did you make or do delivery? You will ask, did you finish the delivery? So you'll say, guys, you did not make the delivery, because you are giving a negative information that delivery was not finished. So you didn't make a delivery. So the restaurant manager calls the driver and says, did you make a delivery to Valerio? And he will say, yes, I made a delivery. But then he says, okay, Valerio, I'm sorry, we made your delivery. So I don't have a pizza. So he calls Juan, says, Juan, show me the signature. Where did you go? What does Valerio look like? And then he tells you that it was not really Valerio, it was a nice old lady. Okay? And says, wait. Old lady. Valerio is not a lady. And he's not old. So you probably made delivery to a wrong person. So now they have to do delivery again. They don't need to make a delivery. Now they need to do the delivery again. Because it's a repetition. You see, in just a few minutes, you learned a system that doesn't exist anywhere except in this video. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I hope you will go and try doing homework, and I will have a number of homeworks with different difficulties where I will teach you exactly how to analyze the text and how to choose answers 100% correctly, so you will never make a mistake. I hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you next time. To be in my video and to have me make a video specially to answer your question, send me an email to englishclubusa@yahoo.com, and you can visit my website at englishclubusa.com for a free life membership. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell.